It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS. Let's pick it up where we left off here on Turfs Up Radio and bookkeeping, beer, and BS. The CEO Accelerator yesterday, first time event, right?
Yep.
So give us the. You're kind of going in that direction. So like, give us the plan and the strategy on a go forward. Where we're going with the CEO Accelerator.
Yeah. So yesterday we tackled recruiting, onboarding, business culture, numbers, and the way I see it, it should really be in that order. Numbers are always important. They can be right at the beginning because you can screw it all up if you don't have your numbers right. But I end with the numbers because when you make your plan, you have to take all of it in consideration. But you want to think, where am I going first? Who am I bringing with me? How can we do this? Mm-hmm. And so we had some great guests. We had Patrick and Kenneth. We had yourself. We had Sam Gembo. Weston right over here. And, they all brought something that's all essential to every business. And you could see, like, people's eyes were like, no matter how much experience there was in the room, there's always something that you can take out of what somebody else is doing. So I've seen the power of it. I know how powerful it is, live events. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have had a couple summits, 3 summits actually online in the last 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. They're awesome. We can bring a lot of people and you can teach. But it's hard to have that conversation, that heart to heart, that that connection that you have in live events.
Yeah, you can't be like, wait, let me jump in with this question or smart ass comment is usually the case for me.
You get muted right away, right?
Yeah. So the ability to just bounce stuff back and forth, and I thought it was a good blend of kind of a little bit of presentation style, but a little bit of open format where people could jump in and share their experiences or whatever the case. And I don't find that it was it didn't feel accidental that the first 3 things we talked about were all employee related, because especially right now, and everybody that's scaling a business, is feeling it, trying to find employees, get them up to speed without them leaving, and then keep them. And if you can't keep them, then you have to go find more, right? And so it's just this vicious cycle. Turnover's faster paced than it's ever been, just because there's so much opportunity out there for folks that they can literally go do anything they want to do. So you really have to have a solid culture. And so Sam talked about that yesterday, and hopefully you can swing by and we'll see if there's an extra headset we can jump them on. Frank, do you always start with the employee side of it? Or do you, like, if I guess maybe the question is, if the employee world wasn't so challenging right now, would you just like damn near skip over it and let's talk about some number stuff and some marketing and some growth stuff?
Usually I try to see what the biggest issue is in the industry. Mm-hmm. And I'll start with that because remember we had this conversation. I always do this in coaching and say, like, what's your biggest problem? All right, let's fix it. Right? It's funny because people will tackle what they're comfortable with, then they'll complain about what they don't want or what's missing somewhere else because they think because everyone has that problem, they can't fix it. And the guys at Local Roots are proof of that. Like, it's never ever perfect, and there's not a super abundance of people knocking at your door, but you can do it in a way where you can still have some people who are in line to go work at your place, and they're just waiting for that right opportunity. And that's the case for you guys. You've created that.
Yeah. And if I can add something to that. So when we started coaching with Frank, we actually had a decent hold on our numbers. So that wasn't something that necessarily needed all the focus, right? Mm-hmm. But that was where our brains went whenever we got a business coach was we needed to talk about numbers and purchases and things like that. But really the problem was our culture, our employees, what we were lacking as business owners. So we luckily found it pretty quickly that we didn't need to talk about our trucks and our equipment and stuff with Frank. It was more focusing on the systems that are going to help our employees to have a better experience with us, to have better attainment and retention, and then just to build a better place to work. So that's a really good point there. I like that.